got to plan it out and tell everybody else how well we knew it and show how we could apply it.
Okay, so if you had the option between taking a test like this again and not taking it, would you take this type of test again to show
Definitely.
the way that you learned it? Okay, and would you think that there is a way to do it better than the way we did it that would have helped you remember better or show off what you knew a little more than the way that we did it?
I think the way we did it showed off enough to where we knew exactly what we were doing and how well we were taught.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want to say about this style of a final exam? Would you like to do them all the time, or are they only, do you think, effective if we do them sometimes in place of written tests?
I think do it all the time.
It
was less stressful. It was
Less
a lot
stressful?
less stressful. And
What made it less stressful?
I'm not a good test taker. Like, it makes me nervous.
me too.
I was confident about what I was doing.
And how well prepared did you feel like you were for the assessment? Did you know how to prepare for it, what to study, what to get ready so that you knew that you were ready on the day of the assessment?
Well, we had a deadline to where everything had to be done, so that made us work harder and push ourselves harder to do better and to want to do more than just a little bit. We wanted to show off everything we knew.
Mm-hmm. Could you have crammed the night before this test?
No.
Why couldn't you have crammed for this test?
You would have never been able to get everything done, and you just wouldn't have been as prepared with your group as you would have with just yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it took planning.
It took planning. And the planning, I think, is an important part, because how often do you plan for a test?
Not often.
Not often. Sometimes we study, but sometimes we don't sit down with a plan, right?
I actually never studied in my life.
Never studied in your life. But you had to prepare for this, right? You couldn't just walk in on the day of and take
And
this
just wing
assessment.
it. You had to know exactly what you were doing, when you were going to do it, have a set of time out to do it. So that made you want to do things to help the kids and yourself learn it better.
Okay, great.
One thing I would change about it, I guess, is more time to do it instead of just, the amount of time that we had, because we only had from about, I guess it was 2:30 to about 3 o'clock, and that just wasn't enough time to teach 5 groups of kids.
So you would have liked more time,
Like an hour.
like an hour with the kids. Okay, great. Do you feel like, my last question for you is, you worked in a group, and usually when you take a test, you take a test by yourself. What did you think were the advantages of taking a test with a group, and what were the disadvantages of taking a test with a group?
The disadvantages was not everyone was involved. Our other member, they didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't even there on the day.
Right.
One advantage is that you can get more work done with more people than just with one person, and they can teach you stuff that maybe you didn't really know, and it'll prepare.
I think one advantage was that you have a lot more brain power to put behind it, but one disadvantage would be that, it's not just what you know, it's what everybody else knows, and sometimes that can get to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.